So right now we have this website list which is static, and we want to make it dynamic. So for that, we'll need a controller for that website. First of all, let's notice that our website list doesn't follow the correct naming convention. So I'm going to say that this is a view and the client as well as the new. I'm going to refactor that too. This is view and it's in the client. Let's fix that on the config before we forget. This is view and client. Okay, let me see if it still works. Okay, still there. All right. Also, probably the list has it's a full-blown HTML document, so we don't really need to load any of this. Right. So we can remove that and remove it here. Okay. Although we don't really need this class at the top. I'll just leave it. And if we render, okay, that looks a little better. There we go. All right. So let's make it dynamic. So to make it dynamic, we'll add a controller to go along with that. So let's create under the website directory, we'll create another directory called controllers. And here are going to be all the controllers that have to deal with websites. Okay? So let's create a websites controller, website lists controller. So this will be website list.controller.client.js. And again, it's like all our JavaScript, it's going to be inside of an IFI. And it's going to be Angular module. It's going to load the, what was it called? Oh, WAM app, right? And it's going to declare a controller. And we're going to call it website list controller. Right, implement it in a function of the same name, and like all controllers, is going to first grab the model, declare the init function, and immediately invoke it. Okay, the first couple of things that we're going to need to do is grab the ID of the user, right? So that we can retrieve the websites for that user. Right, so we can say user ID. We can grab it from the route params. We'll need that. So route params dot user ID. I think that's that we called it in the config. Right, user ID. There it is. Now that we have the user ID, we should be able to fetch all the websites for that user. Where do we get that? Remember, all the access to the data should always be through some service, right? Which we don't have just yet, right? But we would declare it here, but we don't have it just yet. So for now, let's make sure we declare the controller and we load it for the in our list of controllers here. Script source. This will be website controllers. So we don't have a service just yet. So for now, we're just going to do model dot websites. Websites is equal to what? Websites, a hard-coded array that we're going to declare here, and that we have provided to you in the assignment. So in the assignment, the third assignment, we gave you a list of mock list of websites somewhere here. I think this is it. Okay. So right now, these are all the websites. Yes, unfiltered. Right. We don't really. We're not filtering by the user ID just yet. We'll do that when we get to the service. Right. For now, I just want to show you how to render it dynamically on the view. So there's our websites. Notice that in init, the only thing we're doing is that we're sending the array to a variable on the model. That means that it's available on the template now, right? So on the template, on the website list, right, we should be able to see that list of websites. We should be able to say model.websites is there, right? So if we refresh the templates, we don't see the array. What? Why don't I see it? In the config. Okay, we never told the mapping here. We never said that this website, this list of websites, right? Its controller is, what's it called? Website list controller. And is referred to on the templates, referred to as the model. There it is. So we have the array, right? The array that is being sent from the controller. Right? We just need to use it to render this bottom half over here, right? Which right now is hard coded. We're going to replace that with what's coming from the array. Right? So we go to the template. Let's move this a bit further down, maybe here. What we're going to do is going to take one of these lists. Right? The first list is a header, right? Is a header. The second list is actual data, right? Let's see. What we could do is we could grab one of these. We don't really need any of the other ones, right? We only need just one. We only need one, which we're going to use that one li as a template for all the instances, right? We're going to grab this one li. We're going to copy and paste it. One for each instance. Okay. So what we're going to do is that we're going to say copy and paste this and repeat the following. This li DOM element, I want you to repeat this for every website in model.websites. So model websites control has the array of all the websites, right? So say grab the same li and copy and paste it for every single one of them, right? So if I refresh, notice that this used to be hard-coded as Wikipedia, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon. So if I refresh, notice that they all have the same content, right? Basically, I grab that one static piece of content, and I'm copying and pasting it for every instance in the array, right? So there were, there were 7. Right? And notice that there's 7 copies of the same thing. What we need to do is that this, instead of showing Wikipedia, we want to show the name of the website, right? Facebook, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. So here we have a local variable called website, which we can use here to render or any particular attribute of that object, right? This local variable. Right, so now we have, there we go, right? We have, excuse me, we have Facebook, Twitter, Gizmodo, Go, Tic-Tac-Toe, Checkers, Chess, right? From that array, right? That hard-coded array that we have in the list. So currently it's ignoring that this is that it should filter on the user, right? On the user ID. It's ignoring the user ID, right? Really what we like to be able to do is, depending on the user, we like to display different websites depending on who logs in. Yes? Right? So let's do that next.